Buddy, this is A7X Fan Ben, and this is the latest in the hourly campaign. So this is going to be part 9, and I'm in turn 6 right now, and it looks like the stream is getting going, so that's good. And turn number 6, I'm on the Spanish right now, so I'm closing in on the end of turn 6. So the Spanish are in the southwest area of the map here. They've just found their home island, and it's marked already with their extra crew chip. And then looks like got an extra one there that I don't need. So the Pacifica used the S Explorer ability on her approach to explore the island. And then she's got Holy Rope. So that one probably won't affect things, at least not for a while, most likely. And then I'm just going to peek at her other UTs. Oh yeah, I remember now. So weirdly enough, she found both copies of Fireworks, unless there's a third out there. I don't think so. She found both copies of the Fireworks UT on the same island. So that's pretty weird. And then she's got Helmsman as well. And then the Hoya Briante, I guess she'll move first because she's just going to dock at this island. So if she moved VASSAL to the northwest a tiny bit, she would dock there. She has no Explorer, so she'll explore next turn. And now the Pacifica is probably going to return to this island in the southeast that she already S-explored, but then the Adrift UT reset all the islands. So she might go back there because she still hasn't seen the coins yet. And the pirates are kind of looming in the north. The pirates and the Spanish were the first factions to meet in this game. So the pirates were kind of eyeing this island as well, but then the Pacifica used X Explorer to get it first. So they kind of stole a home island right out from under the pirates. So it could be interesting to see how their relationship develops, if anything happens. But yeah, the Pacifica, she's going to head southeast for now. No reason to instigate conflict with the pirates. And she doesn't really want to go north because she doesn't know if could be more pirate ships up there. Not that there are any, but anyway. So that's that. And okay. So the pirates are next, of course. So first I'm going to roll for the Lost Genie of Arabia. So it's a custom crew, of course. Let's see what happens with this guy. So before I do the EA roll, I'm going to roll to see if he changes nationalities. And he does. Okay. So I got to get the random number generator up now. Let me go to that. Got the URL in my suggested previews or whatever. So I'm going to go factions 1 through 11 to include the Dutch. Hit enter. 5. So he's French now. So the Lost Genie turns French. And therefore, he can't use his ability on the Brigand's Nation, a pirate ship. So he is out of action for this turn. So no EA roll for the Genie on this turn. But the Brigand's Nation still has her helmsman, so she can still move 3S, just not up to 6S. And the Black Crow sees the Pacifica going south, so she's going to be slightly more daring in her heading, going due east now. So the pirates are still looking for a home island. They saw this island in the far west on their way in, but especially with the home island of the Spanish now there, they don't really love that location, especially now. So they might return to it, but they're going to head east and see what's out there first before they commit to a home island location. And then we've got the Americans are next. Let me try to find, okay, there's the other ship there. So this one is the Stellar with S+L base move, and she does see this island south of her, so she might go check that out. She can kind of glimpse these whirlpools here too, but it's not really going to be a home island, and nobody would really want it as a home island. It would be interesting. It would be pretty bizarre. It would probably be easy for other factions, though, to have a bunch of ships warp through the whirlpool and then blockade your home island pretty easily, especially if there was an alliance of factions that sent multiple ships from multiple factions to blockade or something. And it would make it easy for opponents to raid your home island with home island raiders, of course. The Deceptive Bounty is looking at this island, and she kind of likes it so far. That being said, we can kind of tell that there's not much around it. There's not many wild islands right near there. And I know that the French are probably going to make that their home island this turn, or next turn. Turn's almost over, but we'll see. And now we've got the Anchor as well. She's going to keep heading northeast because they haven't explored there, so she's just going to keep going. Little does she know she's going into somewhat barren territory the French already looked through, but whatever. Americans are going to find out that for themselves. That's the end of turn 6. So I'm going to decrease the resource counter here. there's only one turn left until the resources change. So it's a little bit exciting, going into turn 8 at least. So turn 7 starts. Let me just update this before I forget. I don't want to mess this up. So I don't know what faction I'll leave off on. Turn number 7 here. I'm going to start keeping track of the resource changes in more detail. Or at least I'm going to get like a chart type thing up. So that'll be good. And well, I might need that again. We'll see. And I posted on the Facebook group just because somebody in the rules survey, not the rules survey, the video survey, said that they'd like to see more campaign games broken up into smaller segments. So that's exactly what this is. So might as well post it there. And the French are up first, of course, in the turn order. So on turn 7, they're going to start their turn here. The Unicorn Pearl definitely wants to avoid the Sargasso Sea. So she's going to move first. She's going to skirt on by and check out this island here, avoiding the weeds by a hair. And then the French don't have a home island yet, but I think they're going to go and explore this one right now. It's a tough choice. They saw an island or maybe 2 on their way in. There's kind of a bunch of islands around here, sort of, that are all wild still. They're just not really close. But that being said, the whole area seems kind of wide open. So the French also, they're not really in the mood to look for a home island for a long time. They've already been searching a bit with all 3 ships. They kind of split up. Now the 2 masters are coming back together, and overall they're kind of content with what they've seen. So although it might not be the best home island location, they want to get started collecting resources, and it might actually turn out to be a decent home island location. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, it's not close to any whirlpools or fog banks, so any cursed sneak attacks might be less easy against the French at least. And yeah, I think that settles it. So I think they're going to explore here. So the Bijou de Newt, the Night Jewel, is given an explore action. So the French have a home island. Let's see if they regret it in the long term or not, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so I got 3 UTs here. As usual, dry powder, loaded face down, get a double shoot action. That one's solid, better on a gunship, of course. Blue Rogue's Banner, I've almost never heard of this, I can't even remember. I think this is from Riz from his site and from Facebook, but I could be wrong, but I think it is. The Blue Rogue's Banner is loaded by a cursed ship. That ship gains the parley keyword. If loaded by another nation ship, it's worth 1 gold for every mass that ship eliminates, while Blue Rogue's Banner is aboard. Okay, so it's very similar to Knights of Malta Banner. Alright, but a little bit different, a little bit of a curse twist, which is kind of funky. That's cool. Curse might go after that at some point. Probably not, though. Parley, I don't know. Not super valuable. Still a good ability, though. I think it's underrated. But Missionary kills the crew. So Bijou is going to lose her helmsman here. But that's not a big deal, because they only lose 1 move all from the game. So the helmsman dies, or, you know, he converts. But this is their home island, so it's kind of awkward. It's just not much. Could be some religion on the island or whatever. And then, like I've said, I already made a house rule where you can just leave whatever UTs, whether they're loaded face up or face down. I'm fine leaving UTs on home islands, so other ships can pick them up. Especially like dry powder, it's just like equipment, so you shouldn't really have to load it or leave it or anything. Just do whatever you want with it. So it is loaded face down, so I guess there's no reason to load it, so she will just leave it on the island. And I'm going to mark this island as the French home island. I guess I won't put an explored marker like I did with the Spanish, because it's not a wild island, so I don't really need those kind of tokens. But anyway, I'd probably take them off a few other islands if needed. And then the Peliel has seen the island. She's happy that it's their home island. And she's going to go somewhere. I think she might... That's a tough one. She might look for new islands. Yeah, they've already seen the north and northwest a little bit, so she's going to try going mostly south and try to find some new wild islands they can capitalize on for resources. Alright, it's about 10 minutes in already, and now the cursed are next. Nice. Alrighty. This is already a confusing fleet, because they've got a fog hopper and plenty of UT shenanigans. And okay, so the Wisp is in a fog bank, and she's trying to get home, so she can unload the 2 coin. I already applied Barrel of Monkeys. I think the Plague is the one. The Plague got left behind. Barrel Monkeys like threw the Plague off the ship. Weirdly enough, maybe the diseased monkey stayed home on the island to save his comrade monkeys. I guess. John's Cutlass, not likely to be relevant for a while until there's some combat. And then Cross of Coronado, nice defensive UT. So both cargo space is taken up, and that's not a 2 coin. I probably misspoke. It's actually Textiles, the resource. So she has the fog hopping ability, so she's going to move out of a fog bank right near the cursed home island. But I got to roll to see where she comes out. The cursed have some fog banks right near their home island, which is going to be great. So they can use the fog hopping strategy to not only run golden resources with it, but also explore the map quickly and possibly launch fog-based attacks, sneak attacks on other factions, which they've done in other games as well. It's quite interesting, adds a nice dynamic to the game. Alright, so 2 roll, zooming in a lot just to make sure I get this right. It looks like the southeast part of the fog bank is where the Wisp is going to emerge from, so she won't make it home this turn, but next turn she can unload the Textiles. That is kind of unfortunate because I think Textiles are valuable right now, but then they're going to change before the next cursed turn. Let me just peek at the chart here. So on a roll of 6, yeah, oh no, Textiles are worth 3 right now, I should say. Spices are the most valuable. Alright, whatever. So they're going to actually make a profit with the change, hopefully. Alrighty. And I say hopefully because I'm basically just rooting for all the factions in this game. I'm just going to play all of them optimally as much as I can. Oh yeah, so she does move, okay. So I'm just going to have every faction give it their best shot, basically, as usual. But the Killness is moving towards this island. She only has out-base move. There wasn't point space in the starting fleet for Helmsman. Then the Death Lullaby is probably going to thread the needle on these fog banks and discover that island. So the Cursed are in business. They're gradually exploring all 3 of these wild islands. And speaking of which, the Opal Shrine is next, and she's going to be given an Explore action to mark this as Explore the Cursed. I think I'm using, I don't know about the black, I guess the purple token. Let me just see what colors I have here. I usually do purple for Cursed. Black makes sense, but I like it for the Pirates. It's tough. And the Vikings might have dark gray. Purple is just what makes the most sense for me, because the Cursed flag has some purple in it. It's a little kind of a bright purple, but oh well. It's worked well in the past, so I'll stick with that for now at least, and see how things develop with the other factions that have similar colors, like the Pirates, the Vikings, and maybe the Dutch, probably, who might be white or light, very light blue. I don't know. I can't remember if there's 3 blues. I just want to peek real quick. The dark blue is the Americans, the regular blue is the French. Americans, light blue, so that would be French. So I guess the Dutch won't be a light blue. It'll have to be like gray or white. And probably white, because that's what their, whoops, that's not a real die roll. The white is what the Dutch infantry and their army units are colored. So, alright, so to explore this island, Opal Shrine, she'll roll for the resource roll soon. I really want to see the UTs though, I can't wait. Oh wow, interesting. We got a custom from El Cazador. This is from his custom set he made recently called Rise of the Moon Sorcerer, which is a custom set based on my custom Moon Sorcerer crew. So glad he made that set. It's really cool integration and kind of a follow-up to some of my customs. This ship gains the Fear keyword. Here. So the Fear gains the Fear keyword. Once per turn, you can roll a d6. On a 4 through 6, eliminate a crew from this ship. All ships within L of the ship have their base move reduced to S on their next turn. Huh. Wow, that's intense. So it's like a sack ability that can slow enemy ships down. This is going to be big for the curse. This is perfect. This is just, oh my god, I'm starting to realize how perfect this is. Moon Sorcerer is like a powerful cursed custom crew, and I should have that spreadsheet up. I might have to get that up. And it's just perfect. Oh, this is crazy. And it's perfect with the curse with the fear keyword and stuff. And I put the flavor text. Yeah, I wanted to do that with some of the pieces. I might do that with some of the customs as well to kind of hopefully develop the story of this game a bit. I'm not in a rush whatsoever, so it's just an hour a week of what I want to do, and I'm just going to try to enjoy the game as much as possible. So if it gets bogged down with flavor and story elements, that's fine with me. I'm just playing it to enjoy it as much as possible. The legendary head once thought to be the moon has influence over the skies. When fresh blood is poured from a worthy sacrificial heart into its mouth, the sky blackens as the moon seems to eclipse the sun. Yeah, so that's from El Cazador, but based on my Moon Sorcerer custom crew, who has a pretty big flavor text in his own right. But it's not all good for the ship here, because Scurvy is also aboard, but there's no crew. I think this was a typo I saw. I saw this as a typo on miniature trading, actually. At least I think so. Hey, eliminate a crew. Eliminate a crew from the ship on a 4 through 6. Remove Scurvy from the game and the ship docks at her home island. Well, she has no crew aboard the Opal Shrine, and she's just going to go straight home with resources. So that shouldn't even affect anything. So Scurvy should be totally irrelevant. They'll get their vitamin C as soon as they dock at home. And she also gets forged papers, which is pretty cool. The Wisp might like that, because it's basically an explorer that doesn't take up a cargo space. So forged papers is probably going to get transferred to the Wisp, so she can fog hop and explore without sacrificing any of her small 2 cargo spaces. So a great haul of UTs. The negative is basically irrelevant, and the Opal Shrine is in business. So got the hot head of whatever it's called, probably pronounce it eventually. That's probably going to go on a big cursed gunship eventually, but for now, it's mostly irrelevant. But that's okay. There's going to be a lot of combat UTs discovered in the first 10 to 20 turns that won't become relevant until far later in the game, and that's quite alright. Especially the face down ones. It could be face down for a while, and all of a sudden they're revealed to like stun another faction. Alright, but I still have to do the resources. So she actually still has all 3 cargo spaces open. Let me just check her abilities, make sure there's no island treasure trading. Oh no, okay, so she does have the +1 gold abilities, that's nice. Opal Shrine. And the resource roll is lumber, which I guess is not valuable right now, but they don't really care about that. So, because the resource is about to change, and the Opal Shrine's not going to get home for a little while anyway. So put a 1 coin there. So the Cursed have explored this island. It has lumber. It's basically a great turn for the Cursed overall. There's 1 hit CTRL plus copy, so 2 more. So she's got 3 lumber tokens. Sometimes I do that just to make sure I didn't duplicate too many and accidentally cheat when I unload them or whatever. So she's got 3 lumber tokens, 3 UTs, 2 positive UTs. Great turn for the Cursed, and they've got more islands lined up to be explored in the coming turns. So, nice. Very good turn for the Cursed. I have to admit, I like this Cursed fast start, because they're not, they're not one of the best factions, like the Big 4, Big 5, so it's nice to see them get off to a fast start, and I am extremely excited about the Cursed in this game, so I can't help but root for them a bit. I'm not saying they're my favorite, whatsoever, but and I'm sure it'll be a case where my favorite will change throughout the game, kind of like in Command the Oceans last year. I was rooting for pretty much every faction at different points in the game. Not that it affected the end game or the result. It's just, there's certain factions where I enjoy the strategy of that faction at certain times more than other factions. So, anyway, speaking of favorites, English are my favorite faction, but they've won so many campaign games, I'm fine with them not winning for a while. Not that I won't play them optimally, of course. King's Cove plus S. If she begins a move action, so she's not within S of the island to start her move action. So, but she would definitely she's definitely to the island. Oh, she has an explorer. Nice, King's Cove. Let me actually undo this real quick, because I might want to move the King's Heart first. I gotta figure this out. I don't think there's gonna be a interaction here between abilities. The King's Heart has SAT. And of course, I got to check the UTs because it's impossible to remember every single one. Rats. That one's annoying. Letter of Mark. That one is interesting. Knights of Malta Banner, which I mentioned earlier. So, worth 1 gold for every mass that she eliminates. Unless they give it to the Corsairs as like a bartering chip, but 5 gold isn't really a lot, so probably not. Alright, so King's Cove. I don't see any abilities or UTs that need to happen for the King's Cove moves. That's one thing in campaign game strategy. when you take move actions with certain ships can matter a lot. And of course, if you have Admiral's Action Crew, which you try to roll a 6 at the beginning of your turn, those, you're supposed to roll those before you move, which is a little bit trivial, but, still best to do it the right way. So the King's Cove gets this island, and she does have an explorer, so she's going to explore this island for the English. So this is their second wild island. They found luxuries on the first one. Go back to this. They are definitely the red faction with the red tokens. And yeah, let me do the UTs first, because then some of them might take up cargo that will affect how many resources I can take. So the resource roll will wait. Might as well just do it the same way each time. And plus the UTs are a bit more exciting anyway, especially with all the custom UTs. And here are 2 more custom UTs. Fuente de Oro, Fountain of Gold. I can't remember who this is by. I know Fountain of Dreams is by Cazador. This might be from Riz. I can't remember. This ship takes up 1 cargo space. Treasure takes up cargo space. Has a starting value of 0. At the beginning of each of your turns, if this treasure is on board a ship, increase its value by 1. Oh boy, that's going to get crazy. The value of this treasure when it is unloaded at your home island is its worth in gold. If this treasure is unloaded to any other island or is transferred to another ship or fort, its value resets to 0. Wow. Huh. This is going to be a tough one. Kind of strikes me as overpowered in a campaign game. So basically I'm already thinking about putting it on the Patagonia because she's really slow. It's tough though, because they don't want to take a ship out of action. So basically you would just have a ship sit around and do very little, and then, man, if it was loaded face down, they could leave it on the island, but it doesn't say it's loaded face down, so they have to take it, which is unfortunate. What I'm thinking about doing is maybe launching an English scout gunship for low point cost very soon, and then maybe even like an S exploring ship like the Kirkwall, and then leave this on the ship. Man, and then I could just count the turns. So ideally you would leave this on a ship and never dock it at your home island until it's worth like 50 or 100 gold. Like the game will be way farther along, and then they get a windfall later on. That's going to be interesting. They're going to try to do that, I'm pretty sure, because they don't want to waste a UT. And this ship is really fast, so she's going to get home in like maybe 3 or 4 turns, the King's Cove. So yeah, they don't really want to waste it. So basically the King's Cove is going to have to transfer it to another ship. Hopefully they'll be able to launch something before she gets home so she doesn't have to wait at home. This could become pretty tough actually, because there is a chance the King's Cove could load. This is where the strategy gets so interesting. The King's Cove could get good resources right now, and then if the next resource change happens like right when she's getting to her home island, there might be a trade-off where I might want to dock the ship home to capitalize on the resources and kind of sacrifice the UT. But as of now, they're going to hope to transfer it to a ship that won't dock for a long time, and then they can just accumulate gold over the turns automatically. And it might be a little bit overpowered in a campaign game, but I mean 20 gold is not a lot in a campaign game. That could be like 4 resources of a decent value. And 20 turns from now, it's going to be turn 26, and who knows what's going to happen. Maybe not a ton, but certainly a bunch. So actually it's probably not too overpowered. And beyond that though, like I've already said, I'm willing to let some things slide in terms of being overpowered in this game, partly because it's a solo game, so I don't have to worry about players thinking things are unfair. So I'm just going to kind of let things happen basically. And a lot of the customs I use might be overpowered, at least to start. And I'll increase the cost if necessary, things like that. And there are a ton of UTs out there, so they might affect things a bit early on. Okay, so let's keep going. The Doldrums, this might be from Xerix, I'm pretty sure. When this treasure is revealed, the ship's turn ends. Roll a d6. The ship cannot be given move action equal to the result. Oh my god. That's awful, but weirdly it combos well with the Fuente de Oro, the Fountain of Gold, because if she just has to sit there anyway, the UT is going to get more valuable. This is weird. Alright. This is awkward. I'm going to say she can still discover the resources, because that would just be silly. I don't know. The Barbary Banner is also loaded, so this one is worth basically 5 gold for the English, but they could barter that with the Corsairs if they wanted to, but they probably won't. So there's that. And I guess, you know, I'm just going to play it as it's said. So this one is strange in that I think I'm not going to roll for the resource because it says this ship turn ends. I'm just going to play it like that, and she's done. So there's no resource discovered yet. So the doldrums hit the cove right away. So she's not even going to explore, or at least not find resources, I should say. So she'll have to redock to find those. So this is a big die roll here. This could really cripple the English, but it doesn't. Nice. So only one turn. She has to wait. So roll a d6. And be given move action equal the result. Oh, that doesn't even affect them because she can just re-explore. That's not bad at all. If it was 2 or more, it would delay her by at least a turn. It's basically irrelevant. So I just can't be given a move action, but next turn she can just re-explore the island to get resources, which she was just going to redock anyway. So it's essentially the same action, the same result of the action, whether it's a move or explore. So similar to Rum, I'm just going to put these here, so then I know that she can't move next turn, but so they get a lucky roll, and the King's Cove basically won't be stuck, so the Fuente de Oro won't really accumulate much wealth on the King's Cove. But at this point, the English really want to launch sooner rather than later. They do have a luxury token on their home island, but it's only worth 1, which I think I mentioned that last time, of course. You can see how long these turns take with the UTs, even though the game's not very big yet. This game is just going to be awesome. It's so long. Alright. Anyway, so the King's Heart is next up. So she has Wrath's Letter of Marque. Let me just peek, just to remember the Knight's Malta Banner. It's basically no UTs that matter for what she's doing, which is running gold. I'm wondering if she wants to dump or explore at home to save a cargo space. I don't really see why not. I don't know why she would need the Explorer. This island has to be re-explored. Actually, yeah, she might get there before the Patagonia. And then she could leave the Explorer on the island. I guess she'll keep the Explorer. Let me roll for SAT first. That could actually determine... Okay, so she doesn't get the SAT. She still might get there before the Patagonia. I'm just going to move the Patagonia now, actually. Yeah, it looks like the Patagonia is going to get there first and explore. Almost no matter what, so I'm not going to worry about... the Explorer. So he's going to get dumped off right now at the English home island. And yeah, it looks like I might have to... Unfortunately, I might have to do home island expansions in this game, but oh well. So they've got a 3 coin, so if the luxuries go up in value at all, they'll have at least 5 gold, which is enough to launch the Antelope, an English ship with no ability, which could be a reasonable ship to get the Fuente de Oro, Fountain of Gold, aboard. So, alright. So she's still got her helmsman. The ship is going to go this way. SLS. She was able to thread the needle on the Sargassos last time, so since she's a somewhat slim ship, kind of a narrow beam, if you will, not a wide ship, she can get through that little area, as I discovered on her return trip last time. Alright, so that finally concludes the English turn. Time to move on. And move on I will, because the Vikings have some action, but I need to figure out what they're even doing. So I think the easiest way to do this would actually be to yank this into the locker. It's hard to look at stuff on the far right side of the board, because if you hit Seashore LP, this comes up here, and sometimes it's hard to even drag it into view. So I'm just going to look at it this way and then undo the move. So that's not relevant. Wet gunpowder will be repaired at home. That's not relevant. All right, so let me undo. There we go. So that goes back. The frost is just going home. She's got spices, which are the most valuable resource, but they're not going to stay that valuable, most likely. They're about to change at the end of this turn. They've got something on their home island. It's a shipwright. And then the Khartoum. There's going to be a lot of checking. I just want to make sure I don't have UTs that are more relevant than I realize on the ships. That's just going to be undone. Anyway. Alright, so those aren't really relevant yet. Runes of Wealth is mostly a negative UT. That one is rough. Oh well. Well, we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be awkward, too, with the resources instead of gold at this island she's going to. The Vikings fully plan to explore this island with the Khartoum. They already have their home island set up. So she'll dock next turn, it looks like. But that's the Vikings' turn. They've actually had a somewhat boring game so far. But they did find a good resource. I mean, it's good right now, but... Alright, so the Dutch are you know, their theme so far has been that they have the most ships. They have 5 ships in their starting fleet. They really haven't found anywhere good that's suitable as a home island location. So, but they do, as I believe I said last time, I'm trying to remember what I even strategized with them. I might have to write down more of the strategy, which I do plan to do that. But anyway, especially because I don't want to have to rewatch sessions just to understand what's going on about halfway through. All right, so I think I said last time the Dutch are probably going to explore this home island, or make it their home island. And yeah, they can kind of see this island up here. Can't quite see the cartoon though. Riesger sees that island. Zeewich is going to, I think, dock there and explore. We'll see. I mean, she doesn't have an explorer. They really like this kind of mini archipelago, this kind of lagoon formation of 3 islands, and they're all still wild. So they could really capitalize on that. And then there's a shipwreck there. There's an island far to the west, and there's an island in the northwest. So it seems somewhat isolated from other factions, and they're kind of getting a little bit fed up with not having found a home island. So, and yeah, there's nothing in the southeast. So unless they go far to the west, there's not really much. So that island looks good too, though. So maybe they'll consider that. Huh. Yeah, maybe, yeah, you know what? Let me not make too hasty of a decision here. The Dutch, either way, this ship would keep going. So I'm going to move her first and say that she is seeing this island to the west here. So she definitely can see the island, I guess. I'm not really making any hard rules on that, just whatever. So that island is close, or not close, but they've got this island here. That's where the Wisp was. That island, that also gets them closer to the archipelago, the Ring of Fire, ring of islands in the center. It's still close to that shipwreck, but it's also very close, maybe closer. No, a tiny bit farther away, I guess, than that other island to these. But man, it's a solid location. They don't know that the Jades have set up shop right there. So if they settle there, that would make the Jade home island a little bit worse of a position, but it's probably better a position for the Dutch, at least most likely. It's tough to really know. Yeah, this is a tough one. They might just have to keep searching, sort of. They might just kind of not decide yet. That island is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Wow, there's a big empty space up there, other than that whirlpool, which is fine. I didn't really want to do a symmetrical ocean where, like, all the islands and terrain are the same distance apart from each other, so hopefully it won't result in one faction having too much of a locational advantage over the others, but, like, the southwest is pretty crowded, maybe a little bit too much, but, and I don't know, I guess I could, like, try to blow up an island with a volcanic eruption. I don't know. Something might happen that wrecks an island's resource value, like, permanently or semi-permanently if a faction can exploit things too much. But anyway. Alright, so I think they might keep going west. I don't know. They might not be too hasty, actually, to get a home island. But either way, this ship is gonna... She kind of sees the ocean's edge, as you could call it, and she's going to start heading in a loop around the whirlpool, I believe. So the Tsardom already moved, so she signals to the Braic here, who signals to Zeewich to not even dock at that island, I guess. I think they do like this one better. I'm just trying to play all the factions equally, and I think that would be a better home island location for the Dutch. And then they could still set up some kind of port on this island, maybe. So the Zeewich is gonna, yeah, that's their decision. They might not settle this island as home island, but that's what they're looking at, this one here to the west. So Zeewich is not gonna dock, and then she signals that to the Riesger, who is like, all right, cool. So yeah, they're just gonna await word from the others and keep going northwest, I guess. So the Dutch are kind of pivoting. They thought that would be their home island up here, but now looks like to the west is probably a better location. So that's their plan now, at least. See, could change again, but we'll see. Probably not. So the Pharaoh's Legacy is generally headed for the same whirlpool that Tangier went into. The Corsairs are the only faction so far to completely abandon their starting area where they sailed in and go in a completely different direction. So yeah, I have to still find the Tangier. There she is. So let me just make sure there's no abilities that are relevant here. I'm liking these keyboard shortcuts on VASSAL, like holding CTRL and then hitting page down takes you to the right. So pretty good. And I only found out that recently, but anyway, kind of shocked I didn't realize it earlier. This one has island treasure trading, but she lost a mass to the whirlpool, and last turn she had a fog problem where in this ring of fog, you can roll to go into another adjacent fog bank, which is what happened. So hopefully that won't happen here. She rolls a 3, which is not good either, because she goes back into the whirlpool area. Whirlpools are optional though, so she's not going to go back through. She's just going to move to get back into that fog bank. So she's back where she started after emerging from the whirlpool. I'm going to zoom back out to see stuff. I just moved to Pharaoh's Legacy, so that's it for the Corsairs. They're off to a bit of a slow start, but whatever. So the Jades are next. They've got a home island that they discovered, looks like last turn. Chest of the Jikaninki. Oh boy, so that's relevant right now, I believe. Let me just peek at the other ones. Marksman's Map. Oh, they gotta look at that. They gotta do that now. Once per turn, the ship may look at one face-down treasure on any island. Alright, I gotta mark my document then. Let's see. So, JR marks map. Unless I have it in the other, it shouldn't be in this document. Let me just make sure I'm not messing it up. I might, nope, they just have the starting fleet there. I might keep track of some launches in the notes document to like keep track of which ships fleets have launched. That's probably not gonna happen though, especially once launches accelerate. I'm not gonna want to do that. So the Marksman's Map, they can look at a face-down treasure on any island right now. So they're going to use that. I guess they looked at one last turn. I guess I didn't write it down. I think it's at that island surrounded by terrain, but oops. I'm not going to look at it again because they already had their chance at it. So pretty much, I guess, going to look at a treasure on an island they hope to explore soon, which might actually be this one they passed on. So yeah, they're going to see if there's any like really negative UTs they don't want to deal with on this island here. So let me see what the top coin is. Tiki of the Volcano. That one's negative, but not bad. They all but one crew from this ship. Their other two ships don't have any crew on them, so it's not bad at all. Alright, so I haven't named the islands yet, but Tiki of the Volcano on Southern Island. Alright, just want to keep track of that. And then, let me see what the face down UT is before I address the chest. Front of Saga, that one is cool. Alright, let me just make sure I'm doing all this right. Sea Panda. Alright, so now for something that could get kind of overpowered or really bad. So Chest of the Jikaninki is a unique treasure that WizKids designed, I guess, for Savage Shores, but they never released it. It's in the unreleased podcast number 31, of course, along with the master spreadsheet, which there's a link below for that. At least let me just make sure real quick. Yep, master spreadsheet. Okay. And then, all right. So before it's unloaded your home island, roll a d6. So she's already docked at her home island, so it's kind of awkward. So she's gonna move away and redock. On a result of 1 through 3, eliminate all of this ship's crew. On a result of 4 through 6, randomly choose 4 face-down coins from any wild island and place them face up on your home island. So they could delay that. So they haven't moved yet, so maybe they won't do it yet. This is a tough one. So yeah, I gotta strategize because they have the Marksman's Map, so they could use that to find positive UTs on islands and keep track of them, and then try to get the high result to automatically get those positive UTs to their home island. But I don't think they want to wait. I just don't see much point. They could also just bypass the negative effect. This is strange, because she's already docked her home island, so she could use the free transfer to dump her crew to avoid the negative effect if they're already on the island. So I guess they'll do that. Yeah, it's kind of gamey, but I don't really care. I'm being more lax with that stuff in this game in general. So let me grab the crew here. I just gotta move them up to the island. So the Sea Panda's crew are being, this is a free unload to dump the crew, and now the ship, the Sea Panda, she has S+S move, so she's gonna redock over here. Pretty simple. Make sure it looks like she's actually docked. So now I get to roll for the chest. So this is the big die roll right here. Ah, so they missed it by 1. All right, so I'm just gonna get rid of this UT because there's no reason to have it on your home island. Now it's worthless. So, at least I think. It doesn't say anything about being able to pick it back up. I guess theoretically somebody could steal it with the wine UT, but I'm gonna say the Jades get pretty pissed off and just chuck it overboard. So this UT was a dud for the Jades, but oh well. Yeah, it is kind of disappointing, but it would potentially get overpowered if they were able to yank like Nemo's plans or something like that into their home island if they got lucky with the random distribution. So I could do this next turn, but I'm just gonna do the free transfer and just put the crew back. So all right, whatever. So that's out of the way. That was lame, but that's fine. So they'll probably use that next turn. The Frond, and they've got some other ships here. The Tiger Lily is probably going to try to explore that island, and the River Crystal is probably going to go north to try to explore one of those other islands. Plus to base move. All right, so she can't use that bonus right now, so she's just going to move S+S towards the north. Kind of slow going, but oh well. All right, so that finishes up the Jade turn. So I've completed a full round. So I'm back to the Spanish now, and they get to explore. Let me just move the Pacifica first because it's really easy to do that. Pacifica is probably going to S-explore this island again. This time she'll actually dock at it to see what it's got, but anyway, Holy Rope is not relevant. Alright, so this ship is now going to explore the Hoya Briante. She just has a captain ability. Yeah, okay. So the Hoya Briante explores this island for the Spanish. So this is their first wild island they've actually explored. So, this is weird. There's 2 yellows. That is weird. I think that confused me in Vassal Campaign Game 1. I like the darker one. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird there's 2 yellows and not 2 some of the other colors. Anyway, whatever. Hopefully I won't get it mixed up. Maybe it looks too much like gold. I don't know. I guess not really. Alright, so the Hoya Briante has 3 cargo spaces. I'll roll for the resource soon, but here we go. Unique treasure reveal. Yet another reveal. Targeting scope. Alright. Smuggled goods. Pretty good. Cotton's Parrot. Alright, so all positive, just nothing too exciting. So basically Cotton's Parrot is filching gold, you know, with no cost. Doesn't take up a cargo space. That's cool. Smuggled goods is solid. Only a one-time use, unlike the Jade UT. Then targeting scope, they'll probably load that and put it on their home island. So it's just an automatic hit. That could be really useful. They have the Neptuno with the sniping ability. So they could use that on the Neptuno with like exploding shot to get a guaranteed hit on like an L+L exploding shot. So that's kind of a best case scenario. It might be used on a random shot that needs to just mass an enemy, but that's nice to have for the future. And so the Spanish make out pretty well here. All positive UTs, and now we'll see what resource they get from the island. And right now it's textiles, which are not valuable now, but resources are about to change, so they don't really care about the current value. So they're going to copy the 2, and then copy it a couple more times. The Hoya Briante now has 3 of them, or 2, I should say. Targeting scope takes up a space because it's loaded face down, so she can only take 2 textiles, but that's fine. They could leave the targeting scope, but they just kind of want to lock it up for the future and put it on their home island where it's theoretically mostly safe. Now with the pirates lurking, of course, right? All right, so about 15 minutes left. So the Brienz Nation is next, so the Genie of Arabia. I just realized something awkward with this one. I will admit, it's a bit of a flaw. I'm gonna have to adjust the ability text again. I think I already did that. So, okay. I'm gonna write, if I can find it. This is a tough one. I'm gonna write this die roll can still occur when the crew is different nationality than this ship. So I just realized that the Genie is kind of broken because if he's on a pirate ship but he's French, he can't use any of his abilities. So then this die roll to change back to pirate wouldn't even work. So he would be like permanently changed, and then he'd only be worth like 1 or 2 points probably. So, alright. So I'll fix that in the spreadsheet soon, hopefully. I'll remember. Anyway. So I'll roll. So he's supposed to change more often than that. Okay, so now he's going to change again. Nice. Alright, so I do need the number generator once again. Hopefully 8 is the number, because that's the pirate faction number, but nope. So he's Jade Rebellion now. Faction number 6. And let me grab a Jade counter real quick. And then the pirates are going to keep going east, northeast. Still looking for that home island that they covet. Spanish have definitely annoyed them a bit. So, honestly, yeah, I would not be surprised if pirates had a bit of a grudge there. So we'll see what happens. Probably a long way off from any hostility, but pirates are not a fan of Spanish, and the Spanish know that. So that's pretty much sums it up. All right. So USS Stellar, still looking at this island. The Americans are also looking for a home island. I'm not really sure what to say about them, other than that they seem to be in a kind of a bad spot, I guess, for home island locations. Although that island looks okay. This island here that the Deceptive Bounty is about to, well, she sees it already. That might actually be decent. Yeah, the Stellar, that island is not a good spot. I don't like that spot. I don't like how close it is to the edge either. It's round Earth, not flat Earth, but I still don't like the spot. So somehow the Anchor and the Unicorn Pearl, I guess they see each other, but they kind of missed each other. Anchor went east before the Unicorn Pearl came south, so they kind of missed each other. They could have met, but not really. Although if the Americans discover this home island, they kind of, as the Deceptive Bounty moves here, you can kind of see the French celebrating a bit. Whoops, moved her a little too far. So if the Americans make that their home island, they're going to be really close to the French. And that could be bad for both of them. And they might not, I don't think they don't have any reason to dislike the French. So the Americans might continue east or southeast. I don't know yet. The Anchor is still scouting out the northwest. So the Americans are, I don't know, they might be off to a pretty slow start. But whatever. That's just kind of, it's kind of inevitable. 10 factions, that's pretty much going to happen either way. So. Alright, so made it to turn 8, and the resource counter runs out. So the resource rolls are over. The first change is happening right now. So roll for 1 to 6 for resource values. This is a big roll, so I got a 4. So that's good for some of the factions, because now textiles are worth 5. So that's good for the cursed among others. I think, yeah, the Spanish just found textiles just now. So now metals are the most valuable resource. I don't think they've been found. Textiles and lumber have both been found though, so that's good. It's okay for the English. Yeah, that's good for them, because they've got luxuries. So, alright, so in general, the roll helps the factions more than it hurts them, as far as I can tell at least. So let me grab my coin here, but now I gotta figure out how long it will last. Some factions would not mind a decent duration length. And they get it. So 2d6 roll for the duration, and 9 turns is how long the change will last. So for the next 9 turns, metals and textiles are going to be the best resources. So, alright. So turn number 8, let me make sure I write this down before I forget. 4 for 9 turns, write that down here. So 4 roll for 9 turns. So a pretty big change, pretty significant. It had decent duration, and the value change benefits some factions quite a bunch. So that'll be good for launching in the short term, and maybe even the intermediate term as well. So the French have a home island, so the Unicorn Pearl is going to explore this island as a wild island here. I just thought of something weird. This hasn't happened yet, and I didn't really even think about it. I guess a faction could explore a home island that another faction had already explored as wild. If the French explore this, which they will next turn, make sure she doesn't have Explorer built in, but she doesn't. So in that case, if the French explored that and the Americans came back to it, and that was the first island the Americans explored, they could make it the American home island still, even after the French explore it as a wild island. That's kind of weird. I hadn't really considered that possibility at all. So anyway, the French are pretty happy. They've got their home island set up. So it's kind of like a sigh of relief, if anything. It's a good feeling to get your home island set up. So Bijou, she did lose her helmsman to the missionary. So he converted to a different religion or something. So she's going to be going slower. So when asked of an enemy ship. Alright, so that's not the case at all. Alright, so she's stuck moving S+S. So she's headed for the nearest island, which the Paleo might go there as well. Yeah, the Paleo is already headed south, so she's just going to do that. Who knows? And maybe the Paleo will continue going in one direction rather than stopping at the island, but probably not. Eventually, the French hope to go back to this island in the north that they saw on their way in, and probably the Fog Island too. I think they saw that from a distance, or at least the fog. I guess they probably didn't see the island through the fog. Alright, so the French are just being given move actions this turn. So now we're on to the Cursed. Very nice. Can't help but be a fan of them, so far at least. Alright, so I have like 7.5 minutes left in this hourly session of the hourly campaign. Alright, the Cursed are in business. I think I'll leave the Wisp for last as usual. Defeated, well, maybe not as usual, but anyway. So Defeated, Killness, and Death Lullaby are approaching islands here. Both of them, well, no, at least one of them will be able to dock next turn. And then Opal Shrine. Alright, let me figure this out here. So Opal Shrine, just explored earlier. She's got Lumber. So that one is not relevant now. Scurvy. Alright, so none of these are relevant now. And they shouldn't be relevant on the return trip either, most likely. So the Opal Shrine is going to head back home at triple S speed. And then the Wisp, not the Wasp, that's the American ship. The Wisp is going to do the same. And she's going to dock home her coin. So the Cursed are in business. So still the Cross. They don't want that though. So the Cross of Coronado is going to sit on their home island. This is going to be a case where, since I'm the only player, I already know the Cursed have Cross of Coronado. This doesn't really reveal it to the other factions. Like theoretically, it's still secret to them. That's how I'm playing it. But I'm leaving the Cross of Coronado face up because I don't want to have to like look at it every turn and wonder if it's actual gold or not that they can spend. So I'm just going to leave it there. I eventually might even have like a separate location for ET. Well, probably not. Then I'll forget they're even on the home island. Alright, so they've got the other UTs. This one is annoying. I think she'll just have to deal with it for now, I guess. Yeah, Barrel of Monkeys. Basically, the Cursed want to unload that to one of their ships that isn't running gold, or give it to another ship through like a boarding party or something, but that's just not very realistic right now. Although she could give it to the Opal Shrine. Yeah, she's done for the turn, the Wasp is. So she might try to give that UT the Opal Shrine very soon, actually. If I had to guess, that's probably what they're going to try to do. But more imminent is the fact that their textiles just went up in value. So went from a 3 to a 5. So they're probably going to attempt to launch. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But anyway, let me try to see if I can get this up here. All right. That's not the right spreadsheet. Let's see if I can find it here. All right. That's not the right one either. So I got the master spreadsheet up, which actually could still be useful. I don't know what they're going to launch yet. So, all right. So they've got 5 gold to spend, basically. But the Curse don't have many cheap ships. So I'm going to look in Pirates of the Epic Seas and see what they can launch. I think there's at least 1 or 2 that might be that cheap. They've already got the Death Lullaby in play. And these spreadsheets, both my custom sets are around 800 pieces, so it takes some time to load the spreadsheet sometimes. And of course, the master spreadsheet has all 14 total sets, along with extra stuff from WizKids, so it's a pretty decent size spreadsheet documents. But yeah, either way, they're going to cash in. So I move that off the island. They're cashing in textiles for 5 gold. They just got to determine whether or not they're actually going to spend it right now, which I think they will. They want to. I just got to see if it's right. They have the right ship to launch. The Nightmare from Davy Jones' Curse is a 4-point ship, but I would really want a helmsman on her rather than sending her out without crew. She could get an explorer, but it's not going to help much. So, alright, so now I've got my spreadsheet up here. So I'll use that one to try to figure out if they have any cheap small ships to launch. Okay, Repulsive Waste, that's, yeah, I might go with that one. Another poop-themed custom, I guess. Holy Droppings, that one has to be Toad. I'm not going to launch that one. They've got a lot of funny names here for my Cursed Customs. So, yeah, they've already got Death's Lullaby in play. Repulsive Waste is 5 points. Good speed, solid cargo. Just a basic little tiny support gunship. In this case, it would be a solid empty gold runner. So pretty sure they'll launch that one. And other than the Nightmare for 4 points, I can't think of any good cursed ships for them to launch from WizKid stuff. So I'm actually just not going to even look at the variety of cursed ships that do exist physically. I'm just going to go with my custom here. That keeps with the custom theme. So I'm going to try to use a lot of my customs and a lot of customs in general in this game. So the Repulsive Waste is a 1-masted sloop. She comes into play here. Just another empty gold runner. They're just going to try to accumulate resources as much as possible, as fast as possible. Try to get a good gold running fleet going. So the Repulsive Waste is in play now. Just a basic ship. Reminds me of the fancy, actually, pirate sloop from Crimson Coast. Pretty similar in most regards. Whoops. There's not 43 factions. That'd be a lot. And then she's got the schooner keyword, kind of like the lightning. Schooner, Stinkpot Specialist. Nice. Alright. So that one is empty. Basic empty gold runner pretty much is what they're trying to use her as. And that almost wraps it up. But I've got a minute, so try to do at least part of the whole English turn. Okay. Yeah, let's just do this real quick. The King's Cove has the Doldrums UT, and then the Fountain of Gold. Okay, this is where it gets complicated. So, alright, I gotta write this down. Let me try to figure this out. So the English, so Fountain of Gold UT started on turn number, this is turn 8, so turn number 8. So then I'm just going to keep track of the turn number and subtract the 2 to find how much gold it's worth, basically. So now it's worth 1 gold as of turn 8. So anyway, hopefully I'll do it right. I might get off by 1, but who cares? Just try to keep track of it if possible. And so the doldrums UT means she can't move, but she can still re-explore. So this is the turn that she is stuck due to the doldrums, but the King's Cove is simply going to re-explore the island and find, ooh, interesting, she finds food, which is not valuable now, but could be someday. Alright, so that's the first food that is found in the game. Right now it's only worth 1. The English don't make out well there, but they're okay with it. They got some variety going because they already have luxuries. Well, they have 1, but then they'll find what that island is worth soon. Alright, so the King's Cove loads, I guess only 2? Let me see what's happening here. So now the Fountain of Gold takes up car space. She only has 3. So she only has 1 open, so she can only take 1 food token anyway. So yeah, she's got to lose some crew. She needs to lose the Explorer, and she might pick up a Helmsman at home, but we'll see. Then there's an Explorer from the King's Heart at home. The King's Heart, she doesn't have UTs that are affecting her gold run at all. Well, the Rats will, but not right now. So SAT roll for the King's Heart doesn't work. So she's just moving SLS, which is still very fast, of course. So she's going to try to thread the needle. Sargasso Seas again. Yeah, good enough. And then the Patagonia will take the final move action of the day and approach the island. And that's it. So the English just went. So now I'm on to the Vikings next. So let me make sure I record that. I think that's mostly anything I need to record. I'll update the genie's ability in a second. But beyond that, that's it for this stream. And I might be streaming a bunch of this game this coming weekend on the 7th through the 9th. So that is the most likely time that I'll be streaming again. I might actually stream a bunch all at once and just finish up the sessions for December. But we'll see. Either way, I'll stream that weekend. So look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching. And this was part 9 of the hourly campaign.